Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ranked Reviews. Today we're looking at Autoglym's Rapid Ceramic Spray. This is their spray on ceramic and wipe off. It also has a wet use case where you can spray it on wet and dry it off. Yeah, little story. We used to be able to buy Autoglym in Canada. Canadian Tire was the distributor for them, but they have since pulled out of, I guess, the continent, or at least Canada. So I can now no longer restock this or any of their products. I have HD Wax, I have their UHD coating, which I don't know if it's still good. I think it could be because it doesn't harden, but you never know. Which means there is some interesting results in this test. The one result where I wouldn't think it's an expiration thing, it could very well be an expiration thing, but I can't get another one to confirm or retest and retry. So it's a pretty bad result. I won't say what, we'll get into that, but I can't get this anymore. So since I've made a few videos in this way in the past, but I cannot now restock it if I want to start fresh. So the results are what they are. I'm not going to blame them completely, but it isn't a good showing. That's all I have to say. But without further ado, let's get into the application experience, the gloss and fill, hydrophobics, chemical resistance, and we'll meet back here for the conclusion. All right, we are looking at Autoglym Rapid Ceramic Spray. This is their ceramic spray protection to go with their ceramic coating, which is an interesting product. I have it. I've put some videos out on it. I don't know if it's still good. It's maybe worth revisiting, actually. But this is sort of like it can be used wet, it can be used dry. It's got that multi-use. It's that ceramic infused sort of product that they had to bring to market to compete. So this is their go at it. I just purged the trigger and it smells a lot like Technician's Choice, which I don't currently have, but I think I've used it in the past, and it's got that smell. And a lot of its performance seems in line with the one that I was using, at least if that's what it is. So application instructions are put on the panel, work it in, and buff it off and change cloths as required. So it doesn't require 2 off the gate, but my advice, have at least a 3 or 4 ready to go, just in case. You never know. 2 sprays per panel, 2 to 3 sprays per panel is a decent amount of liquid. So yeah, I'm going to put 1 into the cloth and 2 half pulls, quarter pulls. Again, it's got that sort of, I don't know how to describe it. It's got that hair salon sort of smell. It's mostly chemical, some sort of artificial smell in there too, but it comes off chemical smelling, in my opinion. It smells a lot like Technician's Choice, though. Not saying they're the same, just similar smell. And it's worked in, it's basically flashed off. It's not super slick. And the buff and the flip, it's okay. It's okay. It's pretty draggy to move it around on the application, if I'm honest. And it's smooth. Like, it's slicker to my finger than it is to the cloth, if that makes sense. It's not terribly unslick, it's just, it's confusing. It's not slick, let's put it that way. And it's getting better under the towel, but yeah, they say you can use 2 applications, but you have to wait 24 hours apart for a spray. Why even bother? Wet and dry use. Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't know, that's weird. It's draggy on the application. Like, the instructions are simple, the process is simple. It's draggy, and then you flip, it slickens up a bit, but not a ton. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see with that compromise. See if we see anything different down the line in the other aspects of performance, where maybe you can see where they compromised. But yeah, overall, not too bad. I will state that this is not a new product. I've had it for a few years. It's been in the garage. It's gone through some temperature swings. They say don't use it above 25 degrees. So this is about 18, 19 degrees right now. So yeah, not too bad. I remember when this came out, it wasn't that cheap, but I can't get this anymore. So I couldn't get a new bottle even if I wanted. They stopped selling it here. Yeah, so overall, not too shabby, but not that slick to spread for sure. So anyway, moving on. All right, here we've got the Autoglym Rapid Ceramic Spray, the clean section, and the untouched. So pull the tape. This, I can tell you right now, is a weaker showing compared to the other products in this test. And I think that should be pretty evident on the camera. It is very faint when it comes to the visual improvements. Very faint. I'll even switch the color up. Like, you can barely tell. So although this isn't a perfect test in any one such way, I never will claim that this is infallible, but it's barely noticeable. And just to prove my point, this is Sonax over here. So just look at the difference. It's night and day. Like, you almost couldn't see that line. You know, when you look over here, push and hold, push and hold. Like, it's almost impossible to see it. Just look how much more swirly it is. So yeah, definitely probably one of the worst showings I think we've seen so far. Not to knock Autoglym or anything, but it's just not a strong suit. And this isn't a new bottle, but it performed pretty well in the other testing. It didn't look super, you know, old or poor in any one result so far. So yeah, not a strong showing. Not why I would buy this product. But anyway, moving on. Okay, so we've gone through chemical testing, application, gloss and fill, blah, blah, blah. So where do we sit? Pricing wise, I had to do a little digging, but this was $26 for the 500 ml bottle. It comes in a 500 ml bottle. There was no bulk sizing options, that's not a unheard of price. Like, this was marketed as a premium line at Canadian Tire. They had their own section with their own bespoke shelves and such. So they were clearly selling it as the premium line. And 26 bucks for a brick and mortar premium, excuse me, my nose is itchy, isn't the craziest things we've heard. We're seeing 35 to 45, 50, depending on some of the other boutique brands out there. Again, maybe the performance is a little different, but it's not crazy, but it's not good. So price, we're getting a 4 out of 10. When it comes to application and slickness, the application's getting a 4 because it isn't super easy to spread. And they have some weird conditions about layering and like this, you know, the big time gaps in between. 24 hours between coats for sprays is a little ridiculous. Just make it a bit stronger and only require one coat, in my opinion. Like, multi-coating is a coating gig. Like, I'll do that for a ceramic coating where I'm not going to need to do it again in 2 to 3 months. Something like this, where you're going to have to do it again in 2 to 3 months, 2-day turnaround time where you have to keep it dry or, like not use it at all, or what the conditions are for that, it's not worth it. So 4 out of 10 for application. Slickness, it's not terrible. It's a little worse when you're working it in, but on the flip, it gets a little bit better. So I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 on the slickness score. Moving into hydrophobics, I believe I wrote a 5. I started writing something and then I scribbled it out and wrote something else. I'm giving it a 5. And I just reviewed the footage just before recording this, so it was fresh in my head. It's not terrible. Like, the hydrophobics aren't bad at all, but they're not great. So I personally I just don't think they're anything special. And a lot of products lately have been saying a whole lot about hydrophobics, but not showing a whole lot about hydrophobics. That was the whole gag for the Sonax thing, is that's hydrophobics. This is not. So someone saying they're super hydrophobic, you better look like Sonax. Otherwise, not cutting it. So yeah, 5 out of 10 there. Chemical resistance actually wasn't too bad. It hung around to the end of the test. A lot better than I was expecting, given the next category. But yeah, so I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 there. It did stick around. It didn't just fall off the panel in 2 seconds, but there's a lot of other categories here where it's getting hung up. So it's like the next one, fill. 1. That is the worst filling score we have seen yet, by a long shot. Like, 3s and 4s are sort of looking like champs right now. The 7s and 8s are just like, they look like from another planet compared to this. Like, that, I just watched the footage back, so it's fresh in my head, but there's no way you have that kind of a result and say it's high gloss or it's gonna make your car look good. Like, it did barely anything to a panel where literally olive oil or something would have, actually olive oil would probably make a great difference, but literally anything would make a better difference. Like, you could go with glass cleaner, might even fill it more than that. So really not good look. And again, this is where I was tying in earlier with this ain't new. It's probably in the 3-year mark or so. You can go and check back when my first video of it came out. That's right when I got it. So it's not a new product, and that could skew a whole bunch of these categories. And we're going to give it a little bit of a girth there for that. But, it's really bad. And we've seen other products that were much, older in the same age range as this, not dropping any one category that hard. Like, Nova Luster is probably just about as old as this, and it still did a lot more in the fill department. And Nova Jets, I got Nova Luster and Jet at the exact same time on the same order, and Jet still slaps Still got the hydrophobics. It was lasting on the door for the week or so it was on there. It didn't, you know, fail or anything like that after a wash, I think I gave it. So it still hung around. They're much more expensive, yes, granted that. But that fill performance is terrible. It's the worst. I don't know if it'll ever be outdone for the bottom of the charts, but we'll see. You know, you can build a better idiot, right? So, bottle is a 1 out of 2. Again, non-adjustable trigger. It's not very ergonomically friendly. Like, I don't know, a bullet bottle, a round bottle, any kind of just making it round, even if it doesn't have the taper, it's still more comfortable in this. It's nice because they sort of, you know, if you got a shelf, they fit up flat, they can sort of be stable. Like the round guys, they sort of move around. But packaging wise, I get it. This might be a little easier to package and ship, but it does get a little annoying. And like, not this product, but there are other products they had, like the SRP. The bottle was so flimsy, anytime you grabbed it, you'd shoot polish out the top. So I don't like this bottle for a lot of reasons, not just this application, but it's just not as nice to hold. So 1 out of 2. It doesn't leak. Labels 2 out of 2. It's very thorough. They've got lots of information on it. So that's all good there. I got no issues with this label. They got the right amount of language. The font's a little small, but you know, get glasses if you can't read it. So tallying that up, we have a new last place. We are 29 out of 64. So this is below a 50%. 32 is 50%. So this is the new last place. Again, old bottle. I giving it a little bit of grace for that. But end of the day, that fill score just is terrible. Like, it's absolutely terrible. And you know, the application is not with the times, and I get it. Like, you know, just an easy application is fine, but if it sucks in a lot of, you know, what you want paint protection to do, like if it's easy to apply but it has terrible beads, or it doesn't last, or it doesn't look good, then I'd take a little bit more grunt on the application just to make the other characteristics good. But yeah, I'm not happy with the results of this. And yes, it's old, but still the results are what they are. And yeah, that's sort of where it sits. So this is the last product in this last round. I took my time getting these videos out because I did get sick again, thanks daycare. And I have been detailing some cars, a couple cars since the last 2 weeks. One of them was here for a whole month while my buddy's away. But so I think now that we've got a few on the boards, I'll probably do a wrap up, sort of a recap video of where we're at so far in certain categories. And then I think, excuse me, I won't apply 4 at a time. I'll be applying 1 at a time when I have time. And then I'll film an application. Like, it doesn't matter what car I apply to. The application is the application. But still use the test panels, the same procedure. I just not going to try and do 4 at once every time and try and have one day where I say, okay, now I got to film 4 panels and all that stuff. It was good at the beginning to get something on the chart and get the chart filled out a bit. But now that we've got, you know, over 20 things in there, we're just going to pick away at it one at a time, because it does get hard actually to figure out what I can do and what's out there. Because, you know, I was hesitant about this because of its age, but you know, we'll get it on the charts because I'll never get it again, and it's only going to get older. So yeah, so going forward, there won't be 4 every week, probably just 1 or 2, depending on how I feel. But they'll still keep coming. I'm still doing this. And then now I'm going to start looking into, you know, paste waxes and liquid waxes and detailers. I think ceramic detailers is the next one I need to do, because I have quite a few of them and some of them are starting to get old too. So it won't be the same curriculum, the wash tests and stuff, because they're detailers. I don't think they should be subjected to crazy stuff. So I might make up a bottle of, you know, like shampoo, and then do 1 hit of like Bill Hammer at the end or something like that. You know, I'll flesh it out, but we'll come up with something, and it'll be the same style. It's just, you know, the requirements when it comes to the chemical testing, I think I'll just notch it down. The gloss and fill in the application will still be the same, because it's can't really change much there. So yeah, but anyway, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.